everyone. Today I'd like to try to show you ways to use up leftovers. From our Sunday brunch program, we had leftovers, some holiday sauce, the lemon dill sauce for the salmon, some extra Boursin cheese, capers, dill, and lemon. And I said, well, I don't like to waste anything, so I said, what could I use all of these ingredients in to make a quick and easy meal? And I said that would work together great with mashed potatoes, using some of the ingredients, and some of the other ingredients for fish. So I have some haddock fillets that I got at the store. We're going to be using those. What I'd like to do is to show you how I ensure that you never really burn anything when you roast it. And I like to slice onions, and they act as a guard so that when you put the fish or any type of roast, but fish really in particular because it's such a delicate protein, and I just take and slice them thinly and put them on the bottom of a heavy duty, this happens to be an enamel pan, but you can use a roasting pan as well. I'm gonna just lay the fillets gently in the pan. This happens to be haddock, which is a durable fish, but you still want to be gentle with it. Then I'm just gonna lightly salt and pepper the fillets. Now in a saucepan, I've melted some butter and I've finely minced some garlic, and I'm going to take these lemon slices, and they're hard to, since they're sliced, to wring out all the juice, so I just put them in my little juicer, and they really get a lot of the juice out. And I keep the ones in the that are previously juiced, and look how much more juice I get out of them. And I'm just going to swirl that around and drizzle that over the fish, and I'm going to put this in the oven to bake. While that's baking, I'm going to take the dill sauce and I put it in a saucepan. I'm going to add more lemons, the rest of these lemons, in a pan. And oh, I don't think that's going to be enough. So I have another one that we didn't use. And when you put them in, I like to take off this little nub. Look at how juicy these are. We're going to take the capers, whoops, dragging some dill along with me. And then I'm going to take the dill and finely chop that. Now, you may have noticed that on the stove, I have some other pots. I have I have peeled potatoes and brought them to a boil, and now they're cooling. And I've done the same thing with a head of cauliflower. And then what we're going to do is we're going to make a cauliflower mashed potato medley. And that's where we're going to add in the Boursin cheese. So we're going to take the sauce mixture and just put it on a very, very slow flame. And in the back over here, I have carrots that I've cooked, and I'm just added a little bit of salt. Now this is a ricer, and no, it's not made for rice. It's to take vegetables and to make them into small little bits and pieces. And you put everything into this little cup holder and just push down. Do the same with the potatoes and then combine them together. Well, I finished ricing both the cauliflower and the mashed potatoes, And look how delicious it looks. Now, what I'm going to do is, you don't have to. You can use chicken stock, but I like to use a little half and half, and you can heat it up if you like, but I use it right out of the refrigerator and just pop it in. And then I'm going to crumble in the bits and pieces of the Boursin cheese that we had left over. And that's gonna melt down into just absolute creamy goodness. And if for some reason you find that your potatoes are a little bit too runny, you just keep cooking them, or when all else fails, you keep a package of Idaho and mashed potatoes in your pantry shelf and just sprinkle some of those in, and it will bring them back to life. I like to add a little black pepper and a little bit of salt. And those will be ready to go. Now, I've got the carrots, back burner. I'm gonna add a little bit of maple syrup. I learned years ago that goes great with maple syrup and carrots is a little bit of Penzeys curry. It just gives a little bit of life to carrots. And there's just something absolutely wonderful. And you can do the same thing if you roast them. Little baby carrots roasted in the oven. Oh my God, it's absolutely delicious. We're gonna let them finish cooking. We'll turn up the heat a little. And our sauce is doing really, really well. And what I'm gonna add is something new I just discovered. 19 Crimes, a wine that I've been drinking for ages, but just discovered that they've come out with a Sauvignon Blanc, which is quite delicious. It's nice and full-bodied, and it makes a wonderful addition for a sauce or anything that you cook with, but even better to drink as an accompaniment to the meal. We're gonna turn up the heat a little, because when you cook with alcohol, by the time you bring it to the table, all the alcohol will have cooked out of it. Now to this, we're going to add a little bit of butter. And then at the very end, I will add the hollandaise sauce to make it a little bit thicker, and another little pat of butter just to bring out a little bit of flavor and velvetiness and shine at the end. I believe no meal is complete unless it has a green vegetable. So I'm quickly just gonna throw in some snow peas that will just quickly blanch. For those that don't remember, blanching is when you bring vegetables to a quick boil, maybe in the case of a snow pea, probably just for a minute, take them out quickly, run them under cold water, and then you can put them back in a warm pot. You just want them to get a nice green color, but hold their crispness. Now we just added all of the hollandaise sauce into the lemon caper sauce, and slowly this will absorb into itself. Not everything always comes out perfect in the kitchen, and for me, this sauce is just a little too thin. So I'm adding a little bit of Wonder flour to thicken it up a little bit. There we go. Oh, now it's almost perfect. Turn up the heat a little. A bit to any sauce is to add a piece of butter, and I use really good butter to finish a sauce. This happens to be Kerrygold butter, or I like Presidente butter or Finlandia butter, and it will add a velvetyness, a wonderful texture and flavor and glistening to sauce. The whole texture of this sauce has changed just in the last minute from adding the Wonder Flour and the butter. We're back with our finished product. Now, look at this, absolutely perfectly cooked fish, and the onions on the bottom, it's not burnt, it's absolutely perfect. And look, just absolutely look at this beautiful sauce. Very luxurious. And I put a little bit on everyone's plate and then put the rest in a sauce boat so people can have what they like on their plate. And we're gonna pour, again, the 19 Crown Sauvignon Blanc. A perfect meal to use up what you have from leftovers from another meal. See you soon.